What's up, guys? Trigger finally back. This is gonna be my first IRL deck profile in what, like a year and a half, almost 2 years, I think. I took a bit of hiatus from playing the game since I didn't have a locals. Now we're starting back up at a new shop, and I started picking up standard, and I'm diving into premium again. So I'll have more profiles up in the coming weeks. So first, let's get into my profile. It's going to be of my favorite deck, the end. So we'll go into the list. This is for standard pre DZ01. So yeah. So we'll go to the ride line first. It could be any starter. Just go second draw. Bar, Nahalem, and the end. Pretty self-explanatory. Bar on ride. When you ride Nahalem, counterblast 1. Search your deck for a grade 1. So you either get like a PG, you get a booster. If you're against a stride deck, you get Elementaria, so you can just free Perfect Guard, so yeah. Nahalem, when you ride an Overlord on top of it, you can call it to rear guard, and then Soul Blast 1 to give itself and an Overlord Vanguard 5k. So it makes perfect numbers. If you have the other Overlord and Soul, it's 23 without any triggers, so yeah. It's pretty good. That's the ride line. Now on to the main deck. We are playing for Overlord. Before you were playing this instead of this in the ride deck, then you're gonna have to ride into it to get the effect of the end, so you don't lose drive checks, and it gets 5k. But now it's because of Ardor Hatchet, the promo, you can just put this in Soul, and it's really good. If you don't have the promo though, you could probably just do this as your start. The card on the ride deck. It's not bad, but I mean, reprints. 3 of the end because it's Persona ride. It's pretty good. On to grade 2s. We are playing Forward or Hatchet. When you have an Overlord card in Soul, and you guard with it, it gains 5k, so it's a 10k shield. And then when your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you can retire it to choose any Overlord card from your drop and add it to Soul. So yeah, it's pretty good. This is the card that makes the deck run now. Next grade 2 is for Burning on Dragon. This is our power attack of the deck, and it tutors. On play, you can counterblast 1. Scry top 7 for an Overlord, and add it to hand. If you did not find one or did not want to take one, you get to countercharge. And then whenever your Overlord Vanguard attacks, it gains 5k. So, pretty self-explanatory. This card sees some play in Premium, too, because you could just tutor whatever between this and Conroe, and it's also a power attacker. Because we all know Kagero does not have really good rear guards, like, ever. Next, I'm playing for Ethan. What this card does, it is a 9k grade 2, that when your Vanguard hits, you can retire it to countercharge 1 and draw a card, so it trades itself. This deck does use a lot of counterblast at times. Like 1 or 2 every turn if you have this. But yeah, so, and the fact it countercharges and draws, so it trades, you can just throw it out on the board, and then if you hit, you can retire and countercharge, so it trades itself for another card, which is good. So 4 of these. And the last grade 2 that I'm playing is for Brachioporter. I'm playing such a heavy 2 lineup, again, for the stride decks, number 1, number 2. I want that early game aggression. What this card does is when it hits anything, you can then retire it to pop a rear guard. So what you could do against like decks that go aggro, you can attack their side and then retire their other side and then draw a card. So you didn't lose any card advantage and you took out 2 of their cards. So this card's really good. On to grade 1s. The promo that makes the deck function is for Halb. So what this card does is when it would be discarded for the effect of an Overlord, you can count it as 2 cards and then call it to the back row, and it gains 5k to the end of the turn. So this card makes the deck run. This is a ridiculous card. It used to be ridiculously expensive until it got reprinted. So yeah, this card's really, really good. If you're playing Overlord, you need 4 of this card. It is just, I can't say how good this card is. And it makes columns. Then we are playing 3 Perfects and the 1 Elementaria. Pretty self-explanatory. I've seen some people opt to not play this because if you're playing like a really aggressive turn 3 or 4 and you have a low hand, this can be a little bit more clutch, but again, with guard restrict and grade 4s in the format, Sanctitude is a little bit better. And the last grade 1 we are playing is Mid-Hat. So what this card does is when your Vanguard stands, you can just retire it and draw a card. So you'll attack with turn 3, generally, wrong card. You'll attack with this, generally you'll go 26, and then restand. And essentially, if you have to pitch 2 even, then you only have to pitch 1 because you're retiring this. And it's also an AK booster, so it can make columns. The other card I was opting to play was Madoka, the card that gains power and shield. I like the card because this is kind of like a more draw, high defense build. But the fact is the deck needed boosters, and at times you need more filtering to get into your pieces. So I chose 3 of these. On to triggers. First one, pretty self-explanatory, Dragon Empire OT. I at first was trying the red over trigger, that where you just call something and it gains 100 million, and then when it attacks you can restand, so you get 2 attacks. But this is just too good. This card is just ridiculous. I'd say, aside from like the Stoicheia one, maybe this one, if you hit it early game, with the end especially, so it's ridiculous. So you can go the end attack, you hit, check OT offensively, banish it, restand. You then don't have to use its restand effect, attack again, counterblast to restand. So you get 3 attacks at over 100 million. It's really good. So yeah, this card is ridiculous, especially in premium, because you can guard with this early game if you draw it, which happens, and then just legion it back to the deck, which is just dumb. Next is the pretty staple 4 effect crits. 8 crits. This one actually matters because you do need soul for an Ahalem. So yeah, that's important. 8 crits. If you could play 12, I would play 12 or 11, however many. This is where I might deviate from other people's lists. I'm playing 3 fronts. With the new 50 card main deck size, like the draws are good, but as you see, I'm playing a lot of filtering cards. So I'm already seeing a lot of cards, and the fact is this is 20k shield, and 1 offensive front makes your columns that if they did defensive, they can hit now. Because generally, Kagero is pretty shit columns aside from the Burning Horn double attack, where it's 20k without a boost by itself. So 3 front, pretty good. And lastly, 4 vanilla heal. I was debating playing maybe a 2-2 split with the effect ones, but after testing, I just prefer the vanilla ones just because of the numbers. And also at times, the 5k makes a difference when you have to call it as a booster. So yeah. That was the profile, guys. I'll probably have more videos up this week. Rate, comments up. Thanks, bye.